Okay.
All right, can you see me?
Yes. Uh,
Oh shit, I can't see myself.
I can see your reflection.
Oh no.
Well, let me see. Oh wait, I can see you. There.
You can.
I can see you now.
Oh shit, I can't see myself. It's just like a blank screen.
So weird.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, I can see you. So if you want,
okay.
if that's okay.
All right, cool.
Okay.
So
I want you to. Okay.
So yeah, I think that right now we need to give that space for healing and reconciliation. And it's beautiful to see everyone marching in the streets together. Every race, every color, every creed, and joining in and seeing even the church come in. Because I think it was really important for churches to stand up, because I have people contacting me and say, I don't feel safe about going back to church if they can't support me, if they care enough about what's going on. And so I think a lot of times churches like to shy away from getting involved with political things like this, but this situation is more than political. It's about humanity, and if people are God's greatest creation, it's the creation that he calls beautiful, that he calls lovely and his beloved, then, we should care about people as well. The Bible has these commandments like love, your neighbor as you love yourself, things like that. So
yeah,
I think there's a time where like we all have to just stand up and in the face of evil, in the face of hatred, and just say like, no more. Like, I can't stand for this injustice any longer, So I think that's where I'm at, is just like, what do I have to do to like bring change to my community? And I think it's just us all working together, This is not a let's hate the white man parade, that's not going to get anything done, because when you at the end of the day, when you get to heaven, it ain't going to be just black people up there, okay? You know what I mean? It's like, it's going to be every color, every nation, you hear me? So, like, and I'm all about, like, black entertainment and all that kind of stuff like that, I appreciate that, but I'm just saying, we're stronger together as a church and as the nation of America. I think we're just stronger together. I mean, look what's happening. We've band together and, and we're getting things done. It's like reconciliation and healing is now taking place. I'm seeing people kneel before the broken and saying, I'm sorry, forgive me. Yeah. And I will stand with you. I will walk with you through this pain. Right. And that's really the beginning right there. I'm just excited for what's come after this, to see some actual policies in place so that this doesn't happen again. Mm-hmm. That we don't go through a pandemic and then watch people just die at the hands of officers of peace,
Yeah.
So.
I think that would definitely, I love what you're saying, because you got cut off when you're saying what kind of policies, but.
Yeah, I think just more background checks. Mm-hmm. I think wellness checks, like checking like psychiatrical like evaluations. I think checking in like to see the mental state. How are you doing? Like, are you good enough to get out on the force, or if you have this many write-ups and citations, we got to sit you down. Yeah. After a certain point, we got to look in and see if you're fit to still continue on. This last guy had 18 write-ups. 18 over the course of his career of 20 to 21 years.
Wow.
Like, wow, some of these were murder cases. The second cop had 5 write-ups. So it's and two of his pending cases were also murder charges as well. So I'm you kind of have to scratch your head and say, why didn't we do something a long time ago? But then you look at the police chief, and he kind of seemed to just bury his head in the sand a bit, I think. And, even after it just had happened, you saw him come out and say, well, we're currently reviewing the case, and as of what I can see, he didn't do anything wrong. And then that's when the riot started, because everybody lost it and felt like, all right, there's just not going to be any hope for justice. Yeah. And I think people begin to take things into their own hands and say, you know what, we're going to show you, you know, how sick and tired we are of this injustice. So I pray that we're getting past that point. It looks like we are, and we're moving towards healing and reconciliation. And I just pray it continues on. I really believe something powerful is going to come out of this. And I think God is just about to move in and just break out, honestly. Like, I wholeheartedly believe that.
Yeah.
You know, there's just going to come a powerful move in this nation. So I'm really excited.
Me too. Yeah, I've been praying for God. I mean, I feel like the church has been praying for God to bring things that are evil into the light. And that's another reason why I'm like, let your light shine. Because I feel like those things are getting uprooted that we don't need right now in all certain areas, I feel like. And I'm like, you know, it happened in Hollywood, like with government, now with what's happening. Like, I feel like God is uprooting things and, you know, bringing things into light. Like, hey, this is something that needs to be done with and like over. And
you're right. You saw a lot in Hollywood. It started with Hollywood, and Terry Crews and so many other celebrities are exposing things and exposing movie directors, exposing executives, and then now you're seeing it in the law enforcement and the justice system. So I just pray it continues to sweep across our nation, that justice would roar at the foundations of our truth as a nation, the nation of America.
Yeah.
And that is what I'm praying. And so.
Yeah.
But I'm loving what's happening right now. I'm excited. You know, I'm excited. Change is in the air. And
Yeah.
That a festering wound is being lanced so it can finally begin to heal properly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. I like that. It's Rachel, by the way. Yeah. How you doing, Rachel? Yeah.
No, that's awesome. And I thank you for sharing all that. Like, it just, I'm really, like, I just really glad that you shared that with me. Cause, you know, like I said, I know that you went through that, and I'm really like sorry that happened. And it just breaks my heart because I didn't grow up with that mindset. So it's hard for me to believe that happens. And I'm hearing all this stuff. I'm like, for me, it's like, we're all people, and like, I don't see it like that. So it's hard for me to actually believe that's going on until I hear stories like that. And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
That's still happening? So thank you for sharing. Cause you know, for me, I was just like, you know, it just is very educational, I guess you would say. And also, like, I'm glad that you stayed there at Bethel and that you had that experience with like God's people. And so
what's up, cuz? How you doing, Hassan? My cousin Hassan is on there.
That's awesome.
Big Herd in the house. That is one of the most dynamic drummers, man. Dynamic drummers, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, I love that dude.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's like, it's something that is finally being brought to the light. I got a chance to talk to Terry Crews recently. I wish he was on here because he could share more of his experience. But yeah, with his wife, I saw him in the shop one day, and we just got to talking. And it was actually right before I went up to Reading to visit a couple months ago, actually.
Okay.
And he was just sharing how he's experienced reverse racism because his wife's being half black and half white, and he was seeking for a home where they could just be. And that kind of broke my heart. You know, he's like, hey, man, can I come with you to your church? He's like, let's exchange emails and contact information. I was like, sure, Mr. Terry Crews, we can trying to play it cool. Like, oh, man, I'm talking to Terry Crews right now, man. But it was really dope. Like, we were vibing together and just having the same heart. And I think a lot of people are just really hungry to, like, really be free. Like, Black people should be free to, like, walk down the street and not have to worry that they're going to get stopped and frisked. Or like the guy at the grocery store today shared his story about he's Mexican, but his friends were Black, and he had to watch them get mishandled. So now his mom still has a camera in front of the house so she can film if that ever happens again. So it's everybody has these crazy stories of what they dealt with, of the form of oppression is what it is. And it's time to get that spirit of oppression off of this country. Mm-hmm. I know there's a lot of people like Brandon Tatum, who I love. I love Brandon Tatum, and so many others who, believe that there isn't oppression in America, but how do you combat the stories of it? It's like people who actually went through it. It's hard to like tell a person who experienced a form of oppression that, oh, you're not oppressed, you're fine. Mm-hmm. It's deception. And there is some deception out there. You don't get it twisted. Like the white man is the devil and all this kind of stuff. I don't believe in it. I'm sorry, man. I respect all Muslims and whatnot. I personally don't believe the white man is the devil. We got a bigger enemy. It's not flesh and blood. He's a spiritual principality and the dark rulers of this world. Yeah. And so that's the enemy, in my opinion. It's not a skin color. Mm-hmm. And so, yes, white people have done harm to us in the past. I personally come from 2 slave backgrounds where I've read a book on one of my lineages and how I came to get my last name. And then on my Hassan knows on our side, our great grandfather came from Texas, and he escaped the plantation that they were trying to kill him, and that's how our family, the Combs family, got here to California. And so hearing it, reading the books and having the history on it, you're like, wow, this was a real thing. It becomes real. Yeah. You're like, wow, like this is the struggle. Mm-hmm. So I can't sit here and say that there's not oppression in America, but I think there is in many various forms. It just looks different. It doesn't look like, oh, we're in change, physical change, but it might be spiritual, mental change because you were stopped, pulled over, and slammed against the car several times and you didn't deserve it. Yeah. And it breaks my heart that you had to go through that. It broke my heart to hear that this guy's friends had to go through that. But I think this is the time where we really begin to address that. Yeah, it is sad. It is sad. But this is our time where we get to address those things and say, how can we make this right? Mm-hmm. And that's what you're starting to see. You're starting to see people realize that. Because I've heard many people say, I just don't believe that's true, especially in the church. And that was the hard. I've had friends because I work in the entertainment industry, and look, man, I got friends who believe in all kind of stuff, and one of the things they felt hurt by, they didn't feel hurt and accepted by the church because they didn't feel accepted by the church and they felt hurt, because everybody has their own stories. And I feel like us as a church, sometimes we have to start to listen and we'll be able to better love more. And I think that's the key to this war. It's going to be radical acts of love. Yeah. And if that means getting out there with the sign and standing for what's right, then we're going to do that. If that means I'm going to take my resources, my intellect and my knowledge, and I am going to meet with state legislators, I'm going to meet with city councilmen and lawmakers and fight to get some policies in place that will protect all mankind, so that we can have the right to be treated equally as American citizens. Yeah. If that means that, then that's a radical act of love. If it means getting out in the streets and helping businesses clean up their business after the aftermath of the riots, then we're going to do that. And so this is a time for radical love and radical change. And I'm very excited about that. So, yes, it's time to make it right. There you go, Sonia. Amen.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, it's so good to hear your heart and what you're going through, and I'm excited to see change. And I feel like this happening now will also bring change for other people who feel, like they're being judged by who they are, all sorts of different ethnicities and different, life choices, because like that, this is like breaking that oppression off of the world, and just like we're fighting, some people maybe don't believe in, believe in God and the spirit realm, but they are fighting against, is it frozen? I can't hear it. It's quit. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay,
good. It went silent. It's weird. But I feel like this is breaking those strongholds and like it's going to be a wave of new love. And I do feel like this is like God is doing something, and his revival is going to break through. So
I do too. I think we're on a powerful move, man. We're forever changed. Mm-hmm. We're going to change the way we write. We're going to change the way we create. We're going to change the way we think now.
Yeah.
This is going to be a whole new world and generation after this.
Yeah.
So it's really exciting because I'm excited for the way different people are going to bring about change. Mm-hmm. And I feel there was many days where I cried and I didn't know what to feel but just pain. Yeah. And I had my time of pain. I had my time of sitting and chewing on what I just saw, what I felt, all the emotions of when I suffered and went through, and I was called nigger, and I was told to go back to my homeland, and I had a shotgun pulled on me and told me my kind wasn't welcome around here, or I felt all that came all back up again. And I thought we were done. I thought we have made strides. And I think that's why it hit people so hard, because we have made strides as American people. But where it mostly counts is still not have changed. It still hasn't been changed. And so now it's been highlighted, brought to the surface. And it looks like we're going about, certain ways that we can deal with it and move on from here. So. Yeah. But we're just about making that space for people, however they need to express themselves,
Yeah. Well, cool. Thanks, Kelly.
Love you, Lindsay. You're amazing. You're a rock star. Yeah.
Cool. Well, cool. Well, is there anything else you want to share before we say bye?
Just I love you guys, and let's figure out how we can best bring hope and love to this broken world. A lot of people are hurting right now, and so let's really figure out how we can serve. How you doing, Kate? Hey, Kate. So good to see you. Love you, girl. I think it's a time to really stop. How you doing, Georgie? She said, "Thanks, guys." Laura, this police love you. Georgie's incredible.
Yeah.
She's a powerful force. I got to see her at Will Rogers Beach the other day. It was amazing. It was the best quarantine walk.
That's awesome.
But I think it's a time to really stop and ask ourselves and connect with God at how we can contribute to what he's doing right now in this hour of bringing change and hope to a broken nation. Mm-hmm. And what's beautiful is not just America that's in this now. Now we have New Zealand. I saw a whole rally of 3,000 people in New Zealand. Oh yeah,
crazy.
With a UFC fighter who got up there and spoke. Israel Adesanya spoke about his encounters with racism there.
Wow.
He's originally from Africa. Okay. And so his family raised him in New Zealand, Auckland, New Zealand. And so he got to share his testimony. And so we're seeing it in New Zealand. We're seeing it in Paris. The streets of Paris are filled with people protesting and standing up for love and change. And so God is doing something massive around the world. And, I want to be a part of it. I want us, Paris is protesting too. Exactly. And so I don't want us to miss this moment, because I believe it's a really key moment in history. And I think we can ask, it's good to be in a place of asking yourself, how can I bring change? And I've had a lot of people call me and say, Kelly, how can I be a part? I don't feel like I have a voice. How can I? Yeah. And I think just really understanding what these people have gone through, what Black people have gone through, the pain that they're feeling, and just simply starting with, I understand, or I feel your pain. I acknowledge that it's real. Because I think for so long we've said, no, it's not real. Oh, that was like 400 years, or 200 years ago. And, so it's like, I think people have to stop and say, how can I bring change to my community, to my nation? And I think it first starts in the heart with oneself.
Yeah.
And from there, allowing God to highlight to you the areas that you could be a force. And if that's getting out there with the sign, then do it. You know, if that's helping businesses clean up after the aftermath, then do that. You know, but if that's writing a song that invokes people to love and not hate, then do that. You know, but I think we all play a role and a part. You know, it's just like a body. There's the fingers and there's the toes, and there's the head, there's the neck, and we all play a part, an integral part to the body operating and functioning as a whole. So,
that's good. Thanks for sharing all that, Kelly. Thank you. Is there, since you mentioned a song before do you have a song that you want to sing to everyone? For some reason, I kept thinking about that. I don't know if you actually do. I don't know.
I actually don't. I'm so sorry I didn't prepare. Yeah.
I was thinking of that. I was like, But do you want to, go ahead. Do you want to shout out on your new song or anything?
Yeah. New song. I got a new single that just came out and May 1st, and it's called On and On. So it's on all streaming platforms. It's on my Instagram page.
Great.
And if you go to my bio, it's got everything you need in there. So it's Apple Music and Spotify, iTunes, all that stuff. So
Perfect.
Yeah, go check it out. And it's just really about the process of life, and it was inspired by just the people that have influenced me and the people around me, the community that's around me, and just how the ebb and flows of life come and go, how we live and how we die, but how there's a desire to be known and to be loved in all of us.
Yeah.
And that's what it really comes down to. A lot of us really want to be known and to be loved. And so, it's a beautiful song that the Lord gave me, and I felt like I was supposed to share it with the world. So, yeah.
That's
Go
cool.
check it out. Spotify, everywhere,
Well, before and I'll also post that too and tag you, and I'll post a bunch of stuff about you and stuff that you talked about. You even mentioned a book earlier. But I feel like I haven't actually done this with anyone that I've met with, but I feel like to pray over you right now.
Yeah.
So let's do that. So God, thank you so much for Kelly. I just pray that you just bless him with, I just feel, just bless him with open doors to do those petitions, or maybe not petitions, whatever it is, God, for the law enforcement. I just feel like you laid that on his heart, God. And if he's either to just tell someone who knows about that, I pray that he becomes a force in this with the legislator, with government. When you're talking about it, I just felt like to pray for you for open doors. So God, we say yes to open doors for that. And I thank you so much for his heart and for his dreams, God, his dreams with music, with acting, with his relationships. God, I just pray that you bless those. And during this time, Lord, I just pray that you make him brighter and brighter and brighter, that he'll have more opportunities to talk about his heart, that he will just have favor in this time to just speak truth, because you've blessed him with such a good heart, Lord, and I know that he has so much to share. So, God, I just pray that you give him those open doors and opportunities. I just see open doors, opportunities, open doors, opportunities. So, yes, Lord, and bless him, protect him, amen, and his family.
Amen. Amen. Come on, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys, man. Shout out to everybody who came on. I know we had some technical difficulties, but shout out to Crystal Elaine, my sister. I miss you. I love you. Shout out to Kate English, Joshua, my cousin Hassan. Kate Clarity. Everybody's in the building, man. Beautiful people. Melissa, Lindsay. Wow, everybody. So just shout out to everybody who came on, and let's do this again, man. Let's have more discussions. I think we need to. I think that's another big thing we need to have. We need to create a platform for us to discuss what is in our hearts and what is on our mind, because I think God gave so many of us great ideas and inventions and We just need a platform to bring that to light. So I think we need to have more discussions like this. I would love to do a town hall with Killer Mike. I got a buddy trying to reach out to Killer Mike for me because I would love to get together with him and see if we can, like, I don't know, man, make some cool stuff happen. He's been a voice for the black people for so long that I love. Like, he's been rough on the edges, but, you know, that's how it is when you come from the hood, man. You know, it doesn't quite leave. You know what I'm saying, Hassan? It doesn't quite leave. So it's like that's the way of communicating. So, but he's so eloquent in the way he studies and researches history and time. I think he's a great person to get in front of the right people that we can get some policies changed and things like that. So I would love to do something with Killer Mike and do an interview with him or something. That would be incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
Awesome.
That's one of the open doors. Yes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love that. That's why, you know, I'm doing this is because I realize I want people who don't have an opportunity to share. I mean, it started with like creativity to share it's kind of like a show and tell at school. Like, you're excited, you can share about what you're doing, and like, who doesn't love that? So yeah, just like share your heart too. So yeah, we need
Yep. Yeah. So love you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yep, you're welcome.
Danae, I love you. Definitely love you. And Sherry, come on, girl. Miss Sherry Hughes, she was like a spiritual mom to me. I love her. Her husband gave me one of the best. The first time I ever had elk burgers, man. The best burger I had in my life.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yay. I'm reading Lindsay's thing. So have someone
Lindsay.
I would be honored to have you on my Instagram, not a big door LO, but a little one.
Awesome. Let's do it. Let's have more conversations, guy.
All right. Well, cool. Thanks, Kelly. You're amazing. And tell Marie hi for me.
Yes, will do. I love you.
Love you. All right.
All right.
I'll see you. Bye.
God bless. Bye.
God bless. Bye.